What is up? Cody Jansen here. So, the Calgary Flames, they look like they are in playoff form. And the Oilers look good. Not gonna lie. From what I saw, I think we all know who the better team is. What's up, world? Cody Jansen with you. It's World Hockey Report Live, coming to you on 12-ounce Sports, Zingo TV, channel 761. Yes, that's right. We had hockey last night. We will break into a little bit more Oilers Flames talk as we start off the show with the Wits Nutrition and Performance questions of the day. Open line, go hit us up on Twitter at World Hockey RPT if you want to chime in. We're on Facebook as well, World Hockey Report. Big show, loaded as always. As I said, we're starting off questions of the day. They're going to be centered around the Oilers and the Flames. That's just how it works. Those are the two hottest topics in the entire NHL right now. So yes, we are going to get into that. Then we're going to talk a little Isles, maybe a little Eastern Conference. Game of the Crease is going to come on at 9:20 local time here. 9:40 play-in predictions. I said I would break them down a little bit more in depth on this show. So that's what we're going to do at 9:40 for Coco Vodka, Coco Rum, the drink of the summer. We're going to break down some of these playoff talks as we get you set. Round one. Well, not exactly round one. I guess playoff, play-in games. The official meaningful games. Yeah, those are 4 days away. My math is correct. Let's go on Saturday. Gonna be exciting. Looking forward to it as always. You know what? Everything you need. Maybe some funny talk. I know Adam was almost live tweeting all the games last night off the account, so go check it out at World Hockey RPT. You're gonna find some good insight. Maybe a couple of funny comments that'll make you laugh, and that's all that matters, right? Smile. It's hockey. It's fun. We finally got hockey back. It was. I gotta bring this up though to start. What is up with Sportsnet not airing the first hockey game back in 140 days? Whose decision was that? Like, does NBC have that much power and control that they can tell Rogers, they can tell Sportsnet, CBC, hey, yeah, we got our first hockey game back. It's going to be Pens Flyers afternoon game when you're playing poker replays from 3 years ago. But you can't air it. You got to play an old Jays game, or you got to play like some stupid documentary that we've aired 17 times over the past 4 months. I don't know. Okay, rant done. It's such a minor thing, but also it's just it's such a Canadian thing. Come on, hockey's our game. What do people want to see? Hockey. After 140 days, that's the only sport Canadians want to see. No one here, no one cares about the NFL. No one, like the Blue Jays are so minuscule right now. Everyone just wants to see hockey. They want to see playoff hockey. And, I mean, even a preseason game, it's something. It's on the ice. Now, instead of people, flipping to Sportsnet, flipping to CBC, whatever, they're going to Reddit streams to find it. They're going to their, streaming TV services, whatever. Maybe it's their business plan. Maybe that was it. Alrighty, there is some sad news we got to pass along, though. Eddie Shack. I know this happened over the weekend, but I just wanted to, send our thoughts and prayers to his family. That's a tough one. You know what? Clear the track. Yeah. What a guy. I mean, he was the most entertaining NHL player of his time, and maybe one of the most entertaining NHL players of all time. Clear the track. He was I think he was the highest paid athlete in the world at one point in time. He's got his own songs. I mean, he was the face of so many different commercials. So that is a tough loss for the NHL. Just wanted to pass along our condolences, as well as Dale Hawerchuk, again, still battling cancer. That's it's a tough one. It's a battle. It's a grind. And you know what? Thoughts are with Dale. And, while he battles through it, if there's someone who's going to get over it, it's going to be Dale Hawerchuk. That's not funny enough. That's a bad way to put it. But you know what? Last week when we had Jim Thompson on, he was talking about one of the most underrated players in NHL history. And yes, he threw Dale Hawerchuk in there. And that's a guy who many say, if they didn't have to go through the Edmonton Oilers of their time, They were, without a doubt, probably going to pick up a Stanley Cup, if not multiple. So again, just passing that one along. Our thoughts from World Hockey Report with Dale Hawerchuk and his family. And his family at this time. Not an easy time by any means. Here's a little bit of a brighter note. This is Ryan Rishaug from TSN. Got to give credit there. Sounds like the air conditioning at the Sutton hasn't been working today of all days. This is in Edmonton here, where the NHL teams are hubbed, or 6 of them are. Plus 32. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's 32 Celsius. I would assume like 95, maybe 100, maybe pushing 100. No air conditioning, of course. That's Edmonton. Hottest day of the summer so far. AC gone at the Sutton. I mean, it's been notably called, a nice dump by the likes of Ryan Whitney, I believe it was. And what a mess. But you got Calgary, Winnipeg, Vancouver, Minnesota, Arizona, and Chicago all staying there. Rishaug said from what he's told, it's not too bad, but it's not ideal. That sucks. No air conditioning. You're in Edmonton to begin with in the summer. Like, you can't see your family. You're just hanging out. Like, video games are going to get old after a while. Yeah. I guess, end of the day, you're getting paid to play hockey. Worse things have happened. Other news, college hockey, some college puck talk for you. This will be quick, though. We said it last week. St. Thomas, they're going Div 1. I think they're like the St. Thomas Tommies or something stupid like that. I mean, that's as least creative as the Washington or Edmonton football team. They're going to be joining the Central Collegiate Hockey Associations, the CCHA. That's in 2021. They'll set up with them against like Bemidji, Bowling Green, Minnesota State Mankato, Ferris State, Northern Michigan, Michigan Tech, and Lake Superior. So probably decent competition to start. I still haven't seen like what St. Thomas plans on doing. I don't even know if they got a decent barn or not. But still, the jump from D3 to D1. It's a big step. And it's interesting to see. I don't even know the last NCAA D3 school that's made the jump. There's been a couple of ACHA ones. You got Arizona State. You got Penn State. I'm trying to think of anyone else. I believe Alabama Huntsville was club or ACHA at one point in time. Could be way off there. But I believe those are, some of the more recent ones. Yeah, I can't even think of any others off the top of my head. But hey, cool for St. Thomas. You know what? They're getting into Div 1 hockey. I'm never going to complain. More scholarships, the better. Do I think the hockey's getting watered down? Of course it is. That's everywhere, though. I mean, as long as hockey stays a business or about, I don't even know the whole terminology I want to use here. But just hockey in general is getting watered down. Doesn't matter if it's the Western League, NCAA Div 1. I mean, there's been very good arguments made that imagine the NHL if there was only 16 teams. Could you imagine? Imagine the NHL if there was 8 teams. It would be unbelievable. Like, yes, it would suck because you're not going to be able to see your home team. You're not going to get that fan aspect. But just the hockey aspect. I'm meaning purely hockey aspect. That would be unreal. Alrighty, I did say we're going to get to it. It's nutrition and performance questions of the day. Yes, there's multiple. Because we had 2 that I really wanted to talk about. And they both go off the Oilers and Flames preseason game from last night. Oilers obviously winning that one 4-1. Mikko Koskinen, 17 saves. Mike Smith, 19 for him. Connor McDavid, couple of goals. Yamamoto and... drawing a blank right now. Who had the third? Patrick Russell. Pretty sure it was Russell. Gaetan Haas filled in for Sheahan as well. So the Oilers, they dominated. That's, simple as that. They were next level good. And the Flames actually took it to them in the second period. So I can't say the Oilers dominated, but the Oilers were clearly the better team on the ice. And if this is anything like the past... I mean, the Flames are ready for playoffs. The Flames look like they are ready. They packed a week worth of clothes, and they are ready to drop down to the Jets. Because there's no way with those performances that they are surviving a sniff out there. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen at all. I don't know. They did not look like a team motivated to be there. I get it. It's preseason. Probably hard to get up. Probably don't want to get injured or anything like that. But end of the day, if that's the effort, if that's the, style of hockey you're going to play and expect or hope to beat a team like the Winnipeg Jets, you're huffing something. Because there's no chance that works. Not at all. Alright, Wits Nutrition and Performance question of the day. Got to get to that for Wits Nutrition and Performance. WNP, your home best workout plans, meal plans, whatever you want. Hey, we're coming out of quarantine, so if you're done with those indoor workouts, you want to get something new, go hit him up. Curtis and his team, Wits Nutrition and Performance. So let's get to it. WNP questions of the day. I started off with number one. It's a two-parter as well, though. I said, Oilers fans, how are you feeling after that win last night? Couple of responses, and hit us up on Twitter anytime at World Hockey RPT. But if you got a stupid Twitter handle, a name, I don't know if you think you're clever or funny, whatever. EDM Oilers, great but terrified because the Flames are going to have a 12.5% chance at Lafreniere. That's funny. I'll give that one to you. Hey, Kev Rock, except they're the Flames, so really that's a 0% chance. Yeah, Calgary doesn't have the best of luck to begin with. I don't know. I still think, if you lose out, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world, because you do get a chance at them, but also it's embarrassing. The NHL's going to be like, oh, all these teams, they've made the playoffs officially. Screw that. If you haven't made the 16, you're not in the playoffs. Give me a break. Brando, McDavid was going at 75% most of the game, got 2 goals. Also would like to thank Riddick for the stick flip thing in January. That's a difference maker. I love the stick flip. I love the emotion. I love, I like seeing guys celebrate. I don't like, the whole showboating in general, but I like guys being able to show a little bit of emotion. And I think that Riddick crossed the line. There's a hypothetical line, obviously, and Riddick pissed off the Oilers. And now the Oilers, every time they see him in net, they're going to make him play. Andrew Crank says the Oilers came out to play. Well, yes, that's hockey. It's kind of what you got to do. Kev Rock again said, pretty pumped, excited for Saturday. Sad that I can't go to a game in person. It sucks, but end of the day, I think it's better off that we, get this season done and over with. Give the medical experts some more time, whatever they got to figure out. If that's a vaccine, I don't know. Give the medical experts a little bit of time here. We'll play empty stadiums. The NHL did a good job. You got to tip your hat to them. Congrats, NHL. Did something good there. Not the worst run league anymore. The games look fine. It kind of looks like a Buffalo Sabres game, if you ask me. Or, if you're watching a game in Florida or Arizona, there's no one in those bottom 5 rows anyways, so what's the difference? Now you just got tarps over it. I thought there would have been more advertisements, honestly. I thought that was kind of how they were going to try to recoup some of those costs. Maybe the sales team's slacking. Who knows? Wade Giesbrecht says, didn't love it, that's for sure, but I guess it was a good restart. Probably be a bunch of other teams with a lot of tricky questions to figure out by the end of the XE Sketty. I can't believe I just said that. That's exhibition schedule, but he calls it XE Sketty. So I'll try and be realistic. Can't expect A+ till they get at least 2 more periods in the books. I don't know if this is exactly a period thing. It more just looks like the Flames wanted to try play their perimeter style and see if it works, and it clearly didn't. Danny Dunks, great, not the best second period, but the Oilers showed a lot more than the Flames did overall. Exactly what I just said. Defense had a few hiccups, but they rolled 7 pretty seamlessly. Both goalies were good too. McDavid was McDavid. Yama was flying. I love the addition of Yamamoto. That's a guy who brings 2 words to your team: work ethic. He's going to bring it all the time. And as I said, yes, the Flames had a better second period. The Oilers goalies, they bailed them out, and that's a great problem to be in. That's an unbelievable problem. If you're the Oilers now, you're like, damn, we got 2 goalies who, we're pretty confident in going into this play-in series. Whereas if you're the Flames, You're going, oh my goodness, David Riddick? Don't think we can start him. Cam Talbot? Does he have any more of 2017 left in him? Maybe. Maybe. Although his rebound control, I get it, it's exhibition. I don't want to rip on him. But his rebound control, that's going to get you shelled against the Winnipeg Jets. A team who, they don't play as hard-nosed as they did at one point in time, but they're not afraid to get to the front of that. So, if you're a goaltender, you don't have good rebound control. As they've exposed some teams, even like Pekka Rinne, I believe that series against Vegas, which it went 6 a couple of years back, I believe they had Fleury's number as he was kicking some out as well. Alrighty, so we had the second part of our WNP question of the day that we're going to get to. And this is from Adam as well. Who did the Flames start for game number 1? We already mentioned it. I don't know if you should go Talbot or Riddick. If it's me, I'm going Talbot. The more I think about it, I just don't... I mean... If you're Jeff Ward, do you feel confident with David Riddick in net? I don't know. I don't. I wouldn't. That's my thoughts, at least. Jared Jordan says go with Talbot. He's less of a mess than Riddick. I would, a lot of people agree with me. Dan Duncan again. Duncan going with Talbot. Nolan Fowler, Talbot for sure. The High Priest. Is the Zamboni feller available? No, I don't think David Ayers is going to be available. I wonder what they're going to do. I haven't heard anything if they're... I guess everyone's pretty much got 3 goalies with them, so you wouldn't need that E-bug. I guess that's probably a playoff thing. You never get an E-bug there. Is it October yet? Says a Wolf. Seattle Calgary fan right there. Wade Giesbrecht, Talbot. This has been coming for a while. Riddick's exposed. Andrew X says Talbot. Oglethorpe goes with the bus. Yabo from Vancouver, the Zamboni driver. We already heard that. You're a little bit behind your buddy High Priest. Sports Tweeter says start the big bad Wolf. I don't think you're going to want to start a 5 undersized junior goaltender who played on a team that's known for just a defensive system. I mean, I'm still not even guaranteeing that Dustin Wolf's style is going to work at the pro level. He's a good goaltender, don't get me wrong. But boy, even Carter Hart struggled at the American League level after coming off that Everett system. No one else plays it. No one else can play it. So it's a big adjustment. Jeff Larson says Talbot. Papa John. I don't know, he just gave a sick emoji. It's like a green bug. I don't even know what Papa John's trying to get to. Alrighty, let's step aside. Quick time out here. World Hockey Report. Show brought to you by MyBookie.ag, of course. Use promo code 12OZ Sports when signing up. They're going to match your deposit up to $1,000. MyBookie.ag, promo code 12OZ Sports. Of course, if you're looking to get the best bets, go check out Pete's Power Plays, Tuesday to Thursday, 10 to 10:30. Local time here. It's noon to 12:30 out east. Alrighty, quick timeout. We're back after the break with Kim in the Crease. World Hockey Report Live, Cody Jansen coming to you here. It is Wednesday, the 29th. 9:24 local time already. Hey, we're almost in vacation mode. Yes. Gonna be going camping here very soon. Looking forward to that. And we're back for the NHL play-in round. And that's what we're gonna break down right now. Kim in the crease joins us here on World Hockey Report. Kim, thanks for taking time this morning.
No, thank you for asking me. I'm excited.
Hey, so obviously, I mean, you're a big Isles fan. You follow the Isles closely. That's definitely your neck of the woods up there. And I mean, we might as well jump into it. What a series with Florida. Like, if you want to pick two teams that play exactly opposite styles, where I consider the Isles one of the more responsible teams. Obviously, the Lou regime's got them. They're one of the most responsible defensive regimes. And then Florida is just a run and gun. I like Coach Q and all, but there's no way you can control that team. You've got an .895 goaltender, and you've got one of the best offenses in the league. Like, what do you see when you look at that series?
It's going to be a very interesting series, and it's because of, just the past. Because I look back to 2016 where, we finally got to round two against them. John Tavares scores that game-winning second OT goal against them in Game 6, and so I think it's going to be a little bad blood there, and they're going to want to come back and get some, sweet revenge. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it is going to be, a coaching matchup between Q and Trotz, and then it's also going to be, I feel like it's going to come down to a lot between the goalies as well.
Now, I mean, you brought up the goalies, so we might as well dive into that as well. Like, I guess is Varlamov kind of the guy written in for sure? Like, is that a done deal right now? Or, like, I mean, obviously, I think Greiss is, a pretty capable goaltender as well. But, like, what's the mood down on the island?
Barry Trotz said, he was going to be looking at both goaltenders during, while training, and he was going to see, which one he feels would, get the rust off faster and be better in net. I feel like tonight's exhibition game versus the New York Rangers is definitely going to be the show of who's going to have that, first slot for the playoffs coming in, whether it's Varley or it's Greiss. I think it's whoever's going to show up and play to their fullest extent, whether that be Varley, whether that be Greiss. If you're going off just the season, for a goaltender who had better stats and better save percentage, you're going to go Varlamov.
Do you think that's like, the right choice? Obviously, I would say in playoff performances, I think that Greiss has been a little bit more consistent. I don't even have any numbers in front of me, but if I'm just, thinking from a confidence factor, when I think of Varlamov, I think of his high notes in the playoffs, but he's also had a lot of low notes. And so that's what would give me any sort of concern. From your perspective, though, like, if you're rolling with Varlamov, are you happy with that? Like, obviously, you can't get Sorokin in yet. I mean, we'll see what he can bring. He might be the best goalie in the NHL, or he could be a KHL bust. I still think there's a lot to discover there. But, like, if you're rolling with Varlamov as an Isles fan, are you happy?
I mean, I'm going to be happy with, whatever avenue we go. I feel like with Greiss and net, it's kind of also, this is going to be his last season with us. I feel like, it's going to be his last hurrah with the team, sadly, which, it hurts. It sucks because Greiss has just been such a loyal and great goaltender for this team. And, you're right when you're talking about playoff performances that he's been there for this team, that he has shown up. So it's going to be really interesting to just see them both, come back, but it's also like it's a very different situation in these playoffs because it's not coming right off the season. It's coming 3-4 months on break, and now it's like, how can they perform and how will they show up? So all bets are off for how these two goaltenders can perform.
Scoring's been a big issue for the Isles as well. Do you think there's a lot of pressure on a guy like Matt Barzal, who not underperformed by any reason, but he's not a proven playoff guy? So, like, do you think that there's a pretty big load on his shoulders coming into these playoffs or play-in round?
I think there's a big load on every single forward's shoulders going into these playoffs because our number one problem, like you said, was getting pucks in the net, getting goals, just straight up. A lot of it was, just lack of shooting. And so, I love Matt Barzal, but Matt Barzal is a playmaker. He makes the plays happen. And sometimes it's a lot of times that Matthew Barzal is so fast, and that he sometimes, just enters the zone by himself and has no help in front of that net. I want to see that's why I'm really excited about this exhibition, because I want to see how the Islanders have worked on that. How, Barry Trotz has been, changing up the lines, seeing who works best with one another. Because that was another thing coming from the trade deadline and getting Pajot, is that, you're adding this, fantastic player in, but where does he sit best? Where, the chemistries were off, a lot of things were just question marks, and I'm really excited to see where they can go there. But I feel like the biggest spotlights are going to be Jordan Eberle and Pajot, because these are two guys who have, shown in the playoffs before that they can, rise to the occasion and roof some goals into the net. So I'm really curious to see how they do as well.
Ebbs is an absolute stud. He's always been. I mean, even when he's playing in Saskatchewan in the dub, all like World Juniors for Canada. I mean, he's just, he is playoffs. He's big moments. He's big time. Pajot, that's another guy I've got jotted down here. I don't think he's won yet in an Isles uniform. Is that correct? I believe like after the trade. That's wild. That's wild to think about. What do you think not went wrong, but what do you think needs to change then? I mean, obviously, like it's a long break. I consider this an entire new season. Like nothing is the same as before. But like for Pajot, was there something you saw where you were like, he just doesn't look like he fits in on that line, doesn't look comfortable? Like, because I mean, he's a heck of a hockey player, obviously, but something wasn't working.
Yeah, so it was partially injuries, because it's like, a lot of our morale guys, especially like Casey Cizikas and Johnny Boychuk, who I feel are, big on that morale aspect, and as well as, keeping our team, on their feet and, keeping everything going, especially defensively, because Casey Cizikas is number one in our PK. Johnny Boychuk, who I think is honestly our number one defenseman. But when you look at, like, with Pajot, I just feel like we weren't giving him the right support, that we were putting wingers on the side that really wouldn't help him to grab those goals and things like that. So I don't know. I'm really curious to see, with training camp, he's had time to, maybe make some chemistry with some of his line mates, maybe, set up some plays that now they can capitalize on goals. But yeah, no, during we just had this time where we needed time to sit down and reset. And honestly, the break gave us kind of what we needed, and that we can sit down, see how our team needs to reform and restructure, and we're going to test it out tonight versus the New York Rangers.
Totally. Kim and the Crease, our guest here. Follow her on Twitter at IslesGirl3. We will get into your podcast, but I gotta ask you a few more questions. Obviously about the play-in round. You get Florida in the first round. Where do you see the Isles having an advantage, in a particular position on a team like Florida? Because I feel like they've got high-end talent across the board. Yes, they've underperformed in positions, but where do you see the Isles having a clear advantage?
Definitely defensively. I mean, you can't take anything away from Trotz's system. We got Adam Pelech back. We got Johnny Boychuk back. Our defense is going to be, I'm at least hoping it's going to be stellar, as it was when we began the season, because our backup lines, they might have like that strong offense, but I think our defense is just that much better than their offense. And when you have that, it's going to, I feel like these games are going to come down to one goal games, and it's going to be very close in the series. And it's also, I feel like the Islanders could definitely win the series. But it depends on Bobrovsky. It depends on how he's going to play.
Now, my thoughts on that are a little bit different. I would say I don't see these games being that close. I see it going 5 games, but I don't see the games going that close, just with how hot and cold both teams have been, where, Florida's either, they're winning 4-0 or they're losing 4-0 in a lot of their games. And so that's one of the reasons why, like, the Isles can put the puck in the net. You know what? They've got that opportunity, but they also can shut it down. So I don't know if I see the games being 1-goal games. This isn't really two teams that I see facing off in overtime. But yet again, what's your prediction for the series? 5 games against the Panthers. That's where mine is. You're probably not going to like it, but I do think Florida just has this little freewheeling style to them that's going to work best when there's no atmosphere. If this is played under normal circumstances, the Isles are winning it. I mean, especially if you get playoffs in the Coliseum. I mean, the Barclays Center or whatever, kind of a joke. I think everyone can agree with that for playoff atmosphere. Like, not to crush anything if you love the place, but like, I mean, the Coliseum is a bazillion times better. There's no argument there. And Florida has no playoff atmosphere. Florida's, I mean, one of the biggest jokes of a home ice advantage in the league. I mean, aside from travel. So I totally would have given the Islanders the playoff advantage just for that intensity. I do have Florida in 5 though, just because, from what I've seen from the preseason games, from what I kind of expect, it's going to be just a goal fest. That's what I predict.
Okay, yeah, no, I definitely know where you're coming from, but with the, with our experience with the Florida Panthers in the playoffs and just having that break where you just don't know what to expect, I feel like it's going to be closer. Obviously you can't predict hockey, which is what I love about it. But yeah, no, going in, yeah, the atmosphere and not having the, passionate Islanders fans, and I know how loud we make it in that Coliseum, definitely going to be hurting us, because that definitely, I feel like, gets in the other team's head of just like the team, the energy, and the fire within that arena. So I think that's definitely going to be a pretty big loss for us, that we're not going to have that energy. But who knows? They do have like those little like they did ask like Islanders fans to make little like.
Oh, looks like we might have dropped that call there. Looks like I don't know if that was me that hit a button or not. That very well could have been. But I'm sorry. Continue.
But yeah, so I know like I made fan cams. I know other friends made fan videos and stuff that's gonna be like played in the arena. I think they're gonna do as much as they can for atmosphere. But yeah, no, I understand that definitely lacking for the Islanders there. But I don't know. I feel like when it comes to the Islanders, I feel like what's really improved has been our tenacity, and that we're not gonna go down without a fight. I don't know. I just, if the Islanders can perform to the level that we did at the beginning of the season, like when we're all healthy, we're all together, and we have that just chemistry down to a T, I really feel that we can win this against Florida.
Totally fair. All right, Kim, let's switch gears. Interview, of course, brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Use promo code 12OZSports when signing up, MyBookie.ag. What other series are you going to be watching in the East? Like, what other series, aside from the Isles, has caught your attention?
Definitely going to be watching the Rangers.
Cheering against or for?
I'm so against the Rangers.
Okay, there we go. Now we got that out there.
Here's the thing. The and everyone's like, oh, well, Rangers swept Carolina in the season, but you gotta remember, like, I just don't take the season, like, I take the season with a grain of salt now because it's just been so long.
That was half a year ago.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you gotta just, Carolina's a strong team, and I honestly feel like the Rangers should watch out for them. I feel like Rangers fans and things like that are gonna underestimate the Carolina Hurricanes, and that's gonna be their downfall. So that's definitely something I'm going to be looking into. That's definitely a series I'm going to be keeping my eyes on pretty harshly. Another series, I feel like I'm just going to be watching a lot of like Eastern Conference teams, because it's like, whoever loses those series, when go for a laugh and things like that. So I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes on the Eastern Conference. I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes on the Maple Leafs and Blue Jackets. That's going to be a fun series, in my opinion, if they can get past the preliminaries and go to round one. Who are the Maple Leafs going to verse? It's going to be very interesting.
No, those are all going to be good ones. I see the Leafs and Jackets going 5 as well. I'm definitely, that's one of the, the Eastern ones where I think, like, I really don't see the Canadians pushing the Pens as much as I'd love to see the Carey Price storyline. I don't see it happening. And then I feel like the Regs and Hurricanes, like, For one, those are two teams that I could almost care less about, but yet again, I don't see it being that interesting of a series. Like, even Carolina's games last year when they were on a run, I don't know. Like, I hate to rip on Canes fans because they're super passionate, just like Islanders fans. Like, any time I make a joke about the Islanders fans on World Hockey Report, I swear, like, the comments are just amplified. Like, I love it though. I love it. Like,
come after you. That's how it works.
That's what makes hockey fun, right? Like, if I can't poke a joke at someone, then it's not fun, right? So as long as I can do that, like if I make a joke about the Arizona Coyotes, I get no one to make fun of. All 4 of their fans, they're not going to be worrying about my Twitter. they're worrying about which seat they get to choose. So it's different. I love the Islanders for that aspect. I also like, growing up, I thought like Billy Smith and, those guys were just the coolest players in the world. So that's my little fandom for the Isles. But Kim, I gotta ask you, because hey, you've hopped into the little media world as well. You got Kim and the Crease live podcast going on. Let the listeners know where they can catch it. Where you're streaming it or doing it from, and where they can also get the podcast if it's up.
Yeah, no, definitely. So on Twitter, I'm very, very active. I like to make little edits. I just posted one this morning for hype for Islanders hockey coming back tonight. I do the podcast on YouTube and Twitter. So Periscope live app through Twitter and YouTube streaming. So you can find me under my name Isles Girl 3. Just search it up on YouTube. You'll definitely find it, or go on Twitter and you'll definitely find it. I do it through both platforms. I love open conversation. No matter what team you love, come on in. We'll have a nice conversation about it, because, I say at the end of every podcast, our teams wouldn't be teams without the fans supporting behind them. So I feel like any fandom, any, team that you choose, just be passionate as much as you can about them, because, that's what makes hockey, make the best of it. Make the best of your fandom, because that's what makes, hockey fans and hockey such a great sport.
Have you got Robin Leonard on the pod yet, or the show?
No.
Wow, you're gonna have to get him on one of these times.
Oh man, I don't even know if he would come on, man. That would be amazing to me, but oh man, I don't know. Maybe I should go for it.
Well, maybe I'll. Well, I guess he's in Vegas, so I don't know. Maybe we've got a contact there. I'll send over your way. I mean, hey, the guys are good, especially if it's in the off season. They're very open. I think that a lot more personalities are getting shown, which I love. I mean, it's something where, not to take away from fan personalities, but like, it's always awesome to see people who are super passionate, but then all of a sudden you see the players start to kind of showcase who they are a little bit more. Like, from my perspective, seeing a guy like Austin Matthews walk into the rink, looking like he's going to a Gucci store, I love it. Like, it's creative. I'm not against the suits and looking classy too. I feel like from a former hockey player perspective, look good, feel good, play good. But yeah, again, who am I to tell these guys what you can and can't wear to a hockey game? Like, that's not my lane. So I do love the personalities, and I love getting it out there. Kim, thank you so much for jumping on the show. I guess I didn't ask for your cup pick though. You can't pick the Isles. Who's it got to be?
Oh God.
If it's not the Isles, who's it gonna be?
I mean, it's gonna be like, I feel like it's gonna be one of those power teams up there, and honestly, I'm going to go just easy and say like either like Boston or the Tampa Bay Lightning, but I mean those are the easy picks, but honestly those two are powerhouses that scare the hell out of me, so
If it's the Rangers, how many days in a row do you cry for?
Not cry, just be in a pool of disappointment and just try to avoid every Rangers fan I know.
Oh, no, that's perfect. Kim, thank you so much for jumping on the show. Maybe we'll have to get you in again if the Isles go on a run.
I appreciate it, man. Have a great day.
Kim the Crease, be sure to go check out her stuff there. Always on top of all the Isles stuff. And yeah, she said she's got a new edit out on Twitter. She's always doing some of those hype videos, Photoshop, stuff like that. So we're going to retweet that on our Twitter as well, at World Hockey RPT. Alrighty. We got just over 15 minutes left in the show. Let's wrap things up with some play-in predictions after this. Cody Jansen with you on 12 Ounce Sports. How's it going this morning? Of course, show brought to you Coco Vodka, Coco Rum. It is the drink of the summer, and that's who's presenting our NHL play-in predictions right now. Coco Vodka. Hey, we got it here. As I said, we're hours away from vacation time, and yes, that means we are going to crack into the case. I've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now, and we've officially found the drink of summer, folks. Refreshingly different. Coco Vodka and Rum's the original refreshing mixed drink in a can that combines real natural coconut water from the Philippines, triple distilled vodka or smooth Puerto Rican white rum, and a splash of sparkling water. Perfect combination. Perfect. Coco Vodka and Rum started by two Canadians with a simple plan. Come up with a healthier summer drink that's made with quality ingredients. Ditch those boring seltzer waters that are full of fake flavors and up your drink game. Talk about a vacation in a can. Coco Vodka and Rum's available at BSW Liquor in Alberta, and they recently launched in a ton of states for all you listeners down south there. Michigan, Connecticut, Maryland, Delaware, Massachusetts, and Maine. Huge hockey places down there. You know what? If you want to get the drink of summer, 12 Ounce Sports, Coco Vodka, Coco Rum, we've got you hooked up. And hey, you can order online as well. EnjoyCoco.com. That's Enjoy Coco. So COCO.com. Enjoy the Coco life with World Hockey Report. Go pick yourself up a case today. The original refreshing vacation in a can. Coco Vodka, Coco Rum. Check them out at enjoycoco.com. To the NHL play-in predictions. Because, actually, I had a note. I wanted to talk about it. How funny was it? Someone hacked Brad Marchand's phone. I don't know. Maybe the guys just got buckled last night. Like, you could see a guy like Marchand or someone stealing his phone and going, Tom Wilson's the best scorer in the NHL. I had a laugh at that. And also, one other note. I was going to bring this up earlier, and I got on a rant and probably forgot. But why are NHL teams bringing ineligible players to the bubble? Like Kaprizov, Sorokin. This makes no sense. This is the stupidest thing ever. I get it. They got to go through their quarantine. But, like, why even risk it? Why would the NHL even allow it? It seems like such a stupid decision. Like, what happens if one of these players... I get it. There's so much testing and everything. But still, I don't trust anyone or anything. But, like, what happens if that was the reason? There was a COVID test that showed up. And the NHL's done such a good job. I would just hate to see it ruined by someone who has no chance of playing, no benefit to the team. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But that's my thoughts. NHL, they should not be allowing that. Alright, to the play-in series. We're just going to go over them pretty quick. Nothing too crazy, nothing too in-depth. I mean, hey, you don't need my analysis on every single series. I'm not Bob McKenzie, and I'm not here to bore you to sleep. But we got to talk about those series, because first off, actually, let's start with the East. I was going to go to the West, but let's throw a curveball in there. Let's start with the East. Toronto, Columbus. Alright, broke it down. Hey, huge thanks once again, Kim in the Crease, hopping on the show. Be sure to go check her out on Twitter, IslesGirl3. Toronto, Columbus. I got the Leafs in 5 here. I think Columbus is going to put up a good fight, but I just feel like these games are going to be more run and gun than people expect. A lot less grind and pound, more run and gun. So I get the Leafs in 5 right there. Pittsburgh and Columbus. As much as I would love to see Carey Price run the show, steal a series, not going to happen. No chance. There's zero. I say he might steal one game. One game. But that's unlikely. Pens in 4 right there. Florida over the Isles. This is a tough one because I like Lou. I like Trotz. I like, the Isles as a playoff team. They're one of the toughest to play against. Florida's got that offense. If you can get goaltending from Bobrovsky, they're going on a run. Then you got the Canes and Rangers. Yes, the Rangers were better in the regular season. That was 6 months ago. That was half a year ago. Carolina in 4. Moving over to the West. Flames and Jets. I've been ripping on the Flames all morning, and it's not going to stop. They're too soft. They don't have enough goaltending, and I don't think they've got the heart to beat Winnipeg. Who would have thought that? Like, for the Jets, I see their biggest difference maker in the playoffs being a guy like Dustin Byfuglien, who's not even there. And so why on earth should the Flames lose to a team like the Jets? It's because they don't have the heart. They don't have what it takes to win a playoff series. And I just do not see that. Like, if Connor Hellebuyck can continue what he started, no chance the Flames win. I mean, they peppered Mikko Koskinen and Mike Smith, who are so mediocre compared to Connor Hellebuyck, it's not even going to be funny. The Flames could go this series without scoring a single goal. Not that I think that's actually going to happen. But, like, if they get swept, am I going to be super shocked? No, not at all. I got Winnipeg winning this. I gave the Flames 2. I feel like the Jets, they got some younger players there. Maybe they get off to a slow start. The Flames squeak away a win or two. But Jets in 5. Oilers and Blackhawks. I'm sorry, Corey Crawford. Like, you're recovering from COVID. You come back. There's no way he's going to be sharp. You know, the Hawks are already battling enough injuries, bangs, bruises. They're old. The Oil are going. It's Oil in 3, no doubt in mind. Vancouver over Minnesota. I've gone back and forth on this one. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I think Minnesota, you know, they're just definition of mediocrity. And I think that Vancouver's going to have those young legs. They're going to be motivated to win a cup even more than Minnesota. And yeah. I got Vancouver winning in 4. Then the Yotes in Nashville. This is going to be a great one. Honestly, super looking forward to this. Arizona, Nashville. You got Kemper versus Ridley. I think he'll get the start over Saros just based on experience. Arizona in 5. I just think that's one of the upsets that's going to happen. I mean, Winnipeg over Calgary, technically an upset, but pretty predictable. For the Rangers, now this is another storyline I passed on. Who starts in goal? I think you have to consider what Shesterkin did at the end of the year and maybe give him that start with Hank backing up. Or do you give Hank the start based on seniority, and as soon as you lose a game, you go back to Shesterkin? When, if that's the case, I think you might as well start with Shesterkin. That's a mouthful, oh my goodness. Start with Shesterkin, and then if that doesn't work, then you go to Hank. Georgiev, I'm sorry, you're the odd man out, but you're still young, and you don't have nearly the experience as a guy like Lundqvist. Just not going to work. So, yeah, I say Shesterkin starts. Hank is right there in the bullpen, though. I don't think you can give anyone a leash. I'm not going to break down those round robins. I had a couple of people asking about that. I'm just not diving into that. Not today. Not today. Not going to work. Quickly, we'll check one more time if there's any NHL news. Elliot Friedman's beard. Fantastic, by the way. Well, fun fact, Henrik Lundqvist signed an entry-level contract 15 years ago. Doesn't look like there's anything breaking. Sportsnet's added a couple of games. They're going to air Carolina, Washington, and the Rangers and Isles, in addition to Winnipeg, Vancouver tonight. Why not? Why not? You're airing all these stupid old poker replays. I'm watching the same documentaries on Stanley Cups. I'm watching classic games, old Blue Jays games. I don't know. If it's a money thing, fine. I'm not behind the scenes. But if it's like purely content, like, why not air them? Also, Hockey East just saw this as well. They intend to play the 2021 season by prioritizing league play in both the men's and women's leagues. So, basically, from my understanding of that, they're just going to be playing in conference teams for the Hockey East. Kind of get it done. That'll minimize travel. That'll allow them to play without fans, I do believe. If that's the case, it would make sense that they stick with that. Alrighty, that is the show. We're off for the week. Next week, Wednesday, same time, same place. We are going to be going back to 2 shows a week once the actual playoffs start. We're going to grind that out. Big guests on the way. Yes. We got more former NHLers. Couple of cool ones as well, of course. NHL play-in predictions brought to you by Coco Vodka, Coco Rum. Go check them out. VerberoHockey.com. No ad reading this one for him, but hey, we still got to give him a shout out because Verbero is great. Eddie Sutton's changing the game right there. Some of the best jerseys and team apparel. They just did a bunch of stuff for the Sens as well. Looks phenomenal. Whether your beer league team needs sublimated jerseys at the best possible price or your hockey team needs professional style, top quality sweaters for the season, Verbero's going to hook you up. Verbero.com. Go check them out. 12 Ounce Sports, your home for sports talk radio. Once again, huge thanks to Wits Nutrition and Performance, Kevin the Crease, for Cody Janes and World Hockey Report. Enjoy the preseason games. We'll talk to you on Saturday. Maybe we'll drop in a live stream or two. Maybe we'll get the Instagram live going with Adam on a weekend. We'll figure it out. Playoff hockey is play-in hockey, not playoff. I hate when I call it that. Play-in hockey. Back on Saturday. Until then, folks, have yourself a good one. It's been a great show. World Hockey Report, Cody Jansen signing out.